Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So, I'm still on my walk, and I decided to record another video for you guys, trying to do as much content as possible and still keep the quality up. So, I've got a double shot review for you. I've found with these Convergence books, since the tie-ins are all 1 and 2s, and that's it, 1 and 2, and then that's the whole story. That's all that there ever was. I find doing them as double shot reviews kind of makes sense instead of doing a 1 and a 2, since they really are just like one, sort of a long comic. So what we have here is Convergence, Nightwing and Oracle. So this is by GAIL Simone, and the let's see who all worked on it. Aside from GAIL Dorsima was the artist, and then Parsons must have done the inks, and I forget the cover artist too. Was someone different. Oh, here we go. This will help. So GAIL Simone's the writer. Yeah, Jan Dorsima did the pencils. Dan Parsons did the inks, and Wes Zobia did the colors. So, anyways, the thing about this that I find interesting is they're obviously fighting Hawkman. So here's the cover on the first one. I thought it was pretty crazy. And this cover was by Jill Thompson. That's right. So Jill Thompson did the covers on these. This one's alright, you know, kind of like nothing bad about it. But I actually like the cover on number 2 a lot more. Isn't that nice? Beautiful, really. So this is actually what drew me to buy these in the first place, was this cover. So that's Nightwing and Oracle there. Really cool. So we'll go ahead and start off on the first page of the first issue. So the deal with these is that it's always 2 cities, and they're pitted against each other, and they have to fight. So in this case, we actually have the pre-Flashpoint Gotham City fighting the Flashpoint Gotham City, and a little El Inferno thrown in for good measure. So the other thing, too, is during Convergence, a lot of the main heroes were off doing stuff, like Superman and Batman, are tied up in the main story in Convergence. So all these tie-ins, even though they're taking place in Gotham, they have to use other characters. Kind of crazy, but kind of fun, too. So anyways, there's a little bit here in El Inferno. This is the version they have of Blue Beetle. He's a gadgeteer, and they're Guy Gardner, but they are just there briefly because they're defeated by this version of Hawkman and Hawkwoman. And I did think the art on this was really good. I think it looks, looks nice. Colored and penciled real well. So that's just to set them up in the story, so they easily defeat the El Inferno universe. But then they're told they have to continue and they have to battle another city, which I thought was interesting because I hadn't seen that happen in any of these other tie-ins. Usually they only have to fight one. So the other city they have to fight is this version of Gotham City. So we get a cool looking Nightwing there. So he's talking to Oracle. So while this event is going on, each of these cities has been encapsulated in a dome. And what's going on is, while the dome is up, the people inside it who have superpowers can't use their superpowers, but that doesn't affect people like Nightwing and Oracle. So they still continue doing Nightwing and Oracle stuff, and he's here in a museum stopping Mr. Freeze from stealing, and he fights his goons and stuff, and he actually catches Mr. Freeze, and then Mr. Freeze is just like, they don't even set an alarm. It doesn't matter, like, because everyone's been in the dome. I don't know, it's just changed the way things work. So, I don't know, it's interesting. That's kind of what I found most interesting about these tie-ins, is how people adjust to being trapped under a dome for a year. So he meets up with Starfire. She, of course, doesn't have her powers, and they talk a little bit. Basically, it's just kind of like she's still into him, but he likes Oracle now. So he's back at home, kind of talking and stuff, just a little bit adjusting to life with the dome up. So this is one thing I thought was really cool. Apparently Poison Ivy still has some way to control plants. They don't explain that. But she basically gets all these gardens going, and that's how they feed all the people in Gotham. So I thought that was really neat. And they're at a restaurant here, but there's, of course, very limited selection because they are isolated. So that is one thing I thought Gail did do a really good job of that. A lot of the other writers that wrote these Convergence books actually didn't. They didn't include things like this. So in Gotham, the economy changed, everything changed because they're trapped under a dome. So they're just trying to get food. So they ripped up like the concrete and planted crops. That's right. That's how they did it. I think she just knew what they needed to do essentially and took charge. So that was kind of cool. On the other hand, there are a few like Gaelish, things she's kind of known for, where she has kind of corny dialogue, and some things are a little cliche, but really, it wasn't anything terrible. So, anyways, Nightwing actually proposes to Oracle, as you may have suspected from the cover on the second one. But she's like, Richard, I can't. And he's like, I don't understand. So, sometimes the dialogue could be a little better, but it's not anything terrible. So anyways, and some of the ideas I thought were pretty cool. Anyways, that gets interrupted, even though she already said no. She can't say why, because these guys show up. They're essentially evil versions of Hawkman and Hawkwoman. And they are like, oh, this is good. They talk a lot of crap, too. They're like, this is going to be easy. You're in a wheelchair. Like, the last guys we fought were a lot stronger. And then they're like, Nightwing! And he breaks through the window, and he's like, oh, I'll hit you with my clubs. And hits Hawkman, and he flies back. And then Hawkwoman's like, oh, well, I got Oracle now. What are you going to do? And let's see, they keep fighting. And he's tumbling around. Oh, man, isn't that expression isn't cool. That's scary. But yeah, that's Oracle, and she's angry, I guess. And Nightwing gets beat down. So then, even though they're winning, the Hawk people... So, I don't know, maybe the writing isn't 100% solid, but the Hawk people don't like the current city they have, so they offer to forfeit the fight if Nightwing and Oracle will let them take over this version of Gotham City. So basically betray their city. But it's like, why not just defeat these two now, since you're already winning, and then just take over anyway? I don't know. I thought that was a little weird, but that's how they basically... The Deus Ex Machina in the story, where they're just like saved by God, and the Thanagarians don't kill them and leave and give them time to think about it. So they fly off, but they do have some kind of robot drones. So they leave their drones to keep an eye on everything, and to show the power the drones have, they blow up the bridge with them. So the Thanagarians, they have their technology, so they are like, well, we can take over either way, so you might as well agree. And Nightwing's like, I'm not going to do that, and he takes off, and Oracle acts like she can't help him, and he's feeling kind of betrayed because she turned him down and didn't help him. But then it's like, and this was a part I thought was a really kind of cliche thing, like something Gail Simone would write if you were like to make a parody of Gail Simone writing something. So she's like, let's see, we'll go through the whole thing. So they have eyes everywhere. They're listening to everything we say. I know that technique. I invented that damn technique. There's all this like arbitrary swearing that's kind of in the wrong place. The reason I couldn't go with you, that being Nightwing, to fight in the rocks to the north, it's because I'm Barbara freaking Gordon, also known as the Oracle, and I started fighting them 10 minutes ago. Oh. So while they were talking and all this was going on, and, Nightwing was fighting, she was hacking with her computer. So then all of these have a thing at the end, which I think is really cool and really helpful to new readers. They do a backstory thing on everybody that they're talking about. So this primarily there's the killing joke. So they primarily focus, that's how she became Oracle. But anyways, they talk about Nightwing and... everybody. It's cool. So, I don't know, I'm just reviewing it. You can decide if it was a good or bad book. I don't know. So I'm going to move on to the second one because it's a double shot review. So one thing I'll say is this cover is awesome. But the other one kind of gave it away too, where they're like, she turned him down. And you're like, oh man, I can't believe Oracle turned down Nightwing. And then you turn to the second issue and you're like, oh, okay. I guess they're together. Oh man, Loot Crate. I don't know if you guys ever watch Red Letter Media, but they do this really funny program. Red Letter Media is a channel on YouTube, if you don't know. You probably do. They have like millions of subscribers. But anyway, they do a thing where they make fun of Loot Crate. It's called Nerd Box. It's really funny. Anyway, that aside, so the Oracle's got her hacking skills. And what she did is she couldn't hack the Hawk man and woman's robots because they use Thanagarian, code or whatever. But the overall being that's making them fight each other also has robots. So she hacks into the robots, those robots, and then she's able to use those. And let's see, I'm a little ahead of myself though, even though it set that up. What happens here is the Hawkman and Hawkwoman are waiting because they challenged Nightwing and Oracle to fight. And he's coming at him with the bat plane. You see him there. And they raise their shields, which I thought was cool. They have these kind of little energy shields. So then they get hit. He just straight up like suicide bombs and crashes into them. So we go to the next page. And they're hurt, but they aren't killed, of course. And they get up and they're gloating. And they're like, ha, he sacrificed his life just for that? He didn't even kill us. That was pointless, It was a waste. But lo and behold, he wasn't in it. He was rolling along in this, motorcycle thing. Oh, the rocket wing. So Nightwing has a rocket wing. So that's pretty cool. And he rides up in that, but instead of using his high-tech, like heavily armored, fast-moving vehicle, he immediately jumps out. Because he's Nightwing, so he's going to fight with his little, 18-inch long sticks. So anyways, he jumps out. This is a good issue. I could review this sometime. This is the Red Sun universe, and I forget who they're fighting. It's like a more conventional version. So yeah, we're back to Oracle. Oh, and there's a mysterious person in a cloak that she's talking to. And then she leaves, and leaves the cloaked person to just behind. She leaves, gets in her helicopter. There's an ad for Arrow. Justice at any cost. And let's see, more fighting. And it's well drawn actually, this issue. The penciling's good. I'll give it that. For sure. So anyways, it's just more fighting, But Nightwing's fighting him by himself, so it's pretty hard. He's going to lose. And then it's revealed the cloaked person was Black Canary. Oh, and this was some more GAIL writing. She's like, okay, let them hear the black damn canary. Oh, gosh, it's so cringy. You're not Frank Miller, I know what she's going for. She's like, I'm the GD Batman, but shouldn't she have said, I'm the damn black canary, not I'm the black damn canary? I don't know. It's just cringy, but looks really cool. So the deal is she's got this kind of special thing on her neck. So when she does the canary cry, screech, it goes to everything because the Thanagarians have been listening in on everything. They get horrible, it hits their ears and they're deafened. It also wrecks a lot of stuff. So the screeching is ruinous to them and they have to take off their helmets and Nightwing's just crouched over them gloating. So that's kind of funny. And let's see, he kicks and punches, knocks down Hawkman. She flies at him. She's like, uh-oh. Oh, because she saw Barbara flying in the helicopter. So she flies up, smashes it down, takes out the helicopter, it crashes. Let's see, there's more, this whole comic's just fighting, really. I mean, if you like the hand-to-hand fighting, this is for you. So she's standing over Oracle. Looks bad for Oracle. But she has her own little sticks. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty badass. She's in a wheelchair, but she actually says too on the previous page. She's like, I was Batgirl. I fought plenty. Just because I'm in a wheelchair, I'm not going to not fight. So I thought that was cool. But then she still gets wrecked. But that's the best kind of hero. That's true heroism, honestly. If you're gonna stand up to someone when you know you're gonna lose, and you do it anyway, that's heroic. So that's cool. That's some good stuff there. But she ends up, which is a little unrealistic, but come on, it's a comic. She ends up getting the upper hand because the other one got in too close. You can see she elbows her nose, which that is a viable tactic. And then she manages to get a hold of her mace. So I guess with the magic mace, it kind of gave her the upper hand. Nightwing straight up beat down the other guy. So now she's like, so just because you won doesn't mean you won. Then she tells her robots to raise everything, destroy everything. And they would have, but this is what I revealed earlier. Barbara had already hacked the other robots. So those robots take out the Thanagarian robots. And then she's like, curses, we're defeated, you darn kids and your hacking abilities. So then Nightwing and Oracle are nice, so they're like, alright, just don't mess around and you guys can leave. And then, it's all romantic. That's cool. It's good art. It's really pretty. I like it. So then they do get married. Pretty awesome. So I guess I'd say I liked issue 2 better than issue 3. And then there's Divergence Midnighter, which is just a preview comic that was at the end. So the Midnighter is pretty cool. I was talking to a friend. See, there he is. I was talking to a friend of mine about The Authority. I haven't read that, so I think I need to get The Authority. But this was a preview comic at the end for Divergence, which took place after Convergence. So it's Divergence, Nightwing. So, I hope you made it through this video. If you made it all the way to this point, you are a trooper. Thanks for listening to me just ramble on about a couple comics. I'm not going to tire you with any pitches or anything at the end, so really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Thank you for being a part of DC Fans United.